Good morning, Sales Academy followers, listeners, YouTubers, podcasters, LinkedIners, everything in betweeners. Here we are againers. Today's music was a funny one off the back of a conversation I was having with one of our true connectors, another business, which is a luncheon and business community that we create for people that just want to effectively communicate and meet with other business owners without the bullshit, right? And without the KPIs and without the referrals and the pressures and the 60-second pitches and all that crap that we despise. It's just great people getting together over in great locations, having great food and great conversation, which is a winner on all counts, right? Anyway, that's True Connectors. Go check it out if you want to. But the conversation today is about customer experience, and in particular, mystery shopping. So I want to share this, and I'm going to mention the person in question because they're exceptionally good at this, and I want people to really, really lean into this more as this year goes on. Not just in hospitality, but in so many other areas. And in fact, hospitality is probably one of the areas where they do invest more time and effort in their customer experience stuff. But other businesses don't always do that. So whether you're a service-based business, whatever, it still applies, right? It's like what you think about yourself is irrelevant. What your customers think about you is everything. And that's something that Mel Evans says regularly. And she's a real champion of customer service training, customer experience, the gap in between what we think versus, the perceived indifference, why customers leave, all that sort of stuff. And we're having this brilliant conversation early in the morning, one Wednesday, which is on our True Connectors call. And it was about mystery shopping. And a request came in effectively, and all details will remain confidential, but a request came in for a mystery shop. And when Mel lovingly and caringly and authentically asked, well, what's your outcome? What are you looking for a mystery shop for? What's the reason behind a mystery shop? The kind of response was something like this. We don't think our team's doing everything they need to, and we want to check. Something along those lines. And this is why I love Mal so much and the way that she goes about stuff. And this is the thing. There are plenty of people out there doing what she does, but I don't think there's anyone out there doing it the way that Mal does. All right. And she asked straight away, what will you get? What do you think you will get from doing mystery shops about your team? What information do you think you're going to gather? And they were like, well, whether they're doing their job or not. And I was like, that's not what mystery shops are for, right? Because even if we do a mystery shop and you find that out, you probably already know that. So all you're doing is validating it. You already think this. If you suspect it or you think it, that's a leadership issue and a day-to-day issue and a training issue and a process issue. That's all that stuff. Mystery shopping to be used as a stick to beat people with is not what it's about, right? Mystery shopping is about gauging the performance incrementally, right? Literally getting that measure, the metric of how are you improving. So let me just kind of put that into context. It's initially there could be like a mystery shop at the start where you go, let's get a gauge for where we are, right? Not what we think we are. We could just do a mystery shop to gauge exactly where we are based on experience. And then we make recommendations about training, support, processes, things that can be put in place to improve. Then you do that piece of work and then you mystery shop on a regular basis, not just to check in, but to maintain and grow those standards. That's what it's about. Now, I used to work in the telecoms industry, and whether we like it or not, the industry, retail telecoms was the most mystery shopped business I've ever experienced. They had in the Mobile Times or whatever it was, the trade magazine on a monthly basis, they had a scores on the back pages instead of sports, and it was like a sport. You had EE going up against O2, going up against Vodafone, going up against Carphone Warehouse, going up against, and they were mystery shopping their scores on a load of criteria on service experience, value for money, all that sort of stuff. They really, really invested into it. And it was a championed thing within the industry. And I just look at so many businesses and I'm thinking, when was the last time you checked in with your customers and asked them? When was the last time you checked in with customers who left to really understand why they left, giving them brutal, honest permission to share that with you so that you can learn and grow abundantly, right? It's like when people do this whole 360 feedback, and I'm sure you've seen the guy from Gymshark talk about it with Steve Bartlett. Francis talking what's his name? Oh, James Francis, I can't think. With Stephen Bartlett, and he's talking about that his girlfriend read his 360 report when he was in the shower, because the first thing he thought when he read the 360-degree report, which is, if you've ever heard of it, you do a report and you ask people within your organization about you. So you have people that kind of work under you, or work alongside you, work above you, whatever, and they give you complete 360 feedback on you. And it can be brutal sometimes, because there's a lot of blind spots in there we don't necessarily see. And, as a manager and leader that's gone through it on the receiving end, but also on the delivery end of it, there's human responses to it where we kind of go, you see the feedback and instantly your brain goes, who wrote that? I know who wrote that. And it's that kind of thought. But when you park the ego and put it aside, you start to look at the actual context and the content from a professional viewpoint of, okay, well, how can we use this to grow? That's exactly what we should be doing with the customer service experience, feedback, gap, training, mystery shopping, that whole thing. And this is where Mel is literally a legend in her own kind of living life, because her whole attitude, her whole approach and attitude to it is, how can I support you in growth? This isn't a miracle cure. This is no magic beans and instant gratification stuff. This is a process, but if we're going to get properly honest about it, we need to invest time, money, resource. If you're not prepared to do that, my attitude is get out of bloody business, because if you're investing in your team, yes, but you're investing in your business, yes, you're investing in your customers, and fundamentally, they're vital, right? They're vital to your success. So if you're not genuinely asking and genuinely listening and genuinely care about what the experience is, and whether it's where you think it's at or not, because I mentioned it flippantly earlier, but I'll just come on to it and then we'll finish it there. Perceived indifference. Most of the research we did in Action Coach was around finding out what businesses are saying. And the head office spent loads of money on that sort of stuff. And what we found was, in small businesses, staff members leave and customers leave because of perceived indifference. What they thought they were going to get versus what they actually get, there's a massive gap between. And one of the duties, one of the responsibilities of the leaders in business and the business owners should be mind the gap, right? How do we break that gap, and how do we get into that gap to understand how we improve to bring it closer together? Now, that might mean increasing products and services. That might mean stopping some products and services. All right. But ignorance is the most expensive. Derek Bock famously said, if you think education's expensive, try ignorance. So I'm going to put Mal's details on this podcast. I'm going to put some links to her website and stuff, because I want you to go and check her out. I want you to have a conversation with her. And she's one of the referral partners for Sales Academy, because I trust her. She's one of the people that I would happily put in front of any of my customers. But they have to be ready to do the work, right? This isn't something like Mel's going to come in on a steed like a great white knight and save your business. Do you know what I mean? That's not what it's about. This is about you investing in your customers and putting some things in place. And that starts with discovery and review. That starts with getting brutally honest with where you are, and then doing the training and support with somebody like Mal to help you get there. Then doing the mystery shops to metric and benchmark the progress. Use it how it's meant to be for positive progression. Anyway, peace out, guys. That's it. Speak to you soon. What's your customer experience truly like? Interesting.